Hi everyone, Brett McCrae here with your latest farm and ranch news. Governor Greg Gianforte signed a bill last week that bans foreign adversaries like China and Russia from buying farmland, critical infrastructure, or other property near military assets. The ban goes into effect later this year following the governor's signature of Senate Bill 203, sponsored by State Senator Ken Bogner of Miles City. The new law defines a foreign adversary as a government or person determined by the U.S. Secretary of Commerce to have engaged in consistent or serious action against the national security of the United States or its people. The ban on land purchases applies to the governments of or companies headquartered in China, Cuba, Iran, North Korea, Russia, and Venezuela. A newly passed bill in Texas requires more transparent labeling of analog and cell-cultured products. The Texas and Southwestern Cattle Raisers Association says the legislation on its way to Governor Greg Abbott's desk would protect consumers in the state from misleading claims about fake meat products. B.J. McElroy, CEO of 44 Farms, was one industry member that testified in the Texas legislature on the issue. The bill requires all cell-cultured products to be labeled as either cell-cultured, lab-grown, or with a similar qualifying term. Thanks for tuning in to our first segment of Ag News here today. We'll be back in an hour with your markets.
We asked Montana farmer Walt Sales about the challenges of mental health in agriculture.
Another drought, there always is. There's always going to be another something. I grew up in a generation of you pulled yourself up by your bootstraps. But it's become evident is what do you do if you can't even find those bootstraps? If you need to talk to somebody, go to beyondtheweather.com for free counseling for Montana ag producers.
Hello everyone, Brett McCrae back with more Ag News and your markets. Last week, the Federal Reserve announced its 10th straight interest rate hike in its quest to quell inflation, raising rates to the highest levels since before the home mortgage crisis in 2007. DTN's Chris Clayton says that farmers are already borrowing less, and there is positive news at the farm level as both diesel and fertilizer costs have fallen. Additionally, the wheat market rallied in the last 3 trading sessions as traders signaled a technical correction that many analysts have been calling for, saying that market conditions have been very oversold. That market is once again supported by global geopolitical tensions, raising concerns about wheat supplies. The cash cattle market again failed to support prices on the board last week, with lower bids in the country accepted by feedlots. Last week, cull cows at the BLS traded mostly from 84 cents up to $1, bulls from $1.11 up to $1.22, and young stock cows from $1.20 to $1.83. At the Newell sheep yard, slaughter used 2 to 5 cents higher from 45 to 53 cents a pound, and a light test of lambs from 60 to 90 pounds, selling from 155 to 186 per hundredweight. Wheat markets ended on a 3-day winning streak Friday, supported by historically tight supplies, the winter wheat outlook in the southern plains, and wet conditions for spring wheat planting in the upper Midwest. Thanks for tuning in for your Northern Ag Report. I'm Brett McCrae.